What's up, Panther fans? Back on here. Hopefully, my audio is better this time. I really doubt it will be because I'm using the same microphone. I have two of them that are broke, and plus, my computer doesn't have a microphone port, which is really silly. I mean, here's one that's broke, and here's two, both broke in the same places. But what it's like when you have a million nieces and nephews. Alright, but I'm here to talk about the cuts today to get down to 53. I'll start with the surprises, I guess. You got the most biggest surprise, in my opinion, David Geddes. It's hard to believe that David Geddes got waived. I mean, it's so hard seeing that he was our best receiver when we had Jimmy Clausen next to LaFell, when he was, number two besides Smitty. And it's hard to believe that as good as he played in the first three preseason games, and as good as he's been in his potential, that he's not making the team this year. I mean, that's just hard to believe. They might put him on practice squad or something. I doubt it. I don't know. But that's the biggest surprise. But I figure it's because they're still worried about that hamstring injury that kept him out all year last year. And I think the first year he got hurt was with a knee, but I think he had hamstring injury related problems too. But other than that, you got the next biggest surprise, I guess, would be Drayton Florence getting cut. This one left me really, really confused, not necessarily because it was Drayton Florence getting cut. I mean, it was kind of a surprise to me at first to see that Drayton got cut because people say that he was too loose and stuff in preseason, but overall he played pretty good, and he played better than any corner other than Josh, in my opinion. I mean, because he had a pick six. He got busted one time for a pretty big play he allowed against the Eagles, and he didn't have a bad preseason. And in training camp, if you went to training camp like I did, he tore it up. I mean, he did great, and it was just so hard for me to believe that they cut him. But then again, I mean, I could see it, but because they see things we don't. And plus, the experience with him would be crazy because he's played what for 11 years. So I mean, he has a lot of experience, and they're cutting a lot of experience there, and it's hard to see. Also, here's what makes it surprising is that they cut Drayton Florence over James Dockery. They kept James Dockery on the team. That's what really confused me. Because I don't have to be a trainer or a manager down there or a general manager to be on the field at all to know that Dockery isn't a good football player. Dockery, when he has played, he has been the most piss-poor corner I've ever seen in my life. And I thought that was crazy for even keeping him on the team last year. That dude, I just don't get it. He isn't any good. But it's whatever. I don't know. Maybe they see something in him. Maybe he has something against the organization. Never know. But I guess the next biggest surprise would be, I don't know, Jimmy Clausen or Tyreen Poole. Either one. I mean, it's not a big surprise to see Jimmy go, but at the same time, he's been with Carolina for 3 years now, and he's he's kind of gotten used to his name, and everybody's been not wanting him on the team. That's why we know his name, but it's a familiar face you see leave, and it's just like poor guy. But what can you do? Didn't perform well at all. Jimmy just looked pathetic against Pittsburgh. But I guess the next guy is Tyreen Poole. No big shocker. I mean, a lot of people give Amon Smith hell for kicking that guy, but I could see like people being mad if he reared back and actually kicked the guy. But he was getting up. The defender was twisting on him, like getting his legs around him, and he just tapped him. he didn't rear back and kick him, and it wasn't in his balls either. It's in his thigh. Kicked him right in the thigh. And he didn't even kick him. It wouldn't even put a bruise on him. I mean, I'm not putting any excuses up for him. I mean, what he did was wrong and stupid. He shouldn't have done it. But when you're in the heat of moments and you're getting twisted and someone's in front of you, you want them off of you. I don't think he did it to be unsportsmanlike. I just think he did it to get to the next play. But Armand's a little faster. He's not heavier, like weight-wise, than Tareem Poole, but he is more muscular. I think he's more built. He's got a bit more legs, more leg muscle. And I think he can turn on the ball. And I love his kickoff returning ability. He might not have done much yet, but you can see it in his eyes whenever he returns the ball. He wants it. He wants to go. And that guy's not afraid to run anybody over either. He runs through it hard. But, so I like keeping Armand Smith over Tareem Poole. And, any more surprises at all? Doubt it. I don't think so. Maybe Melvin Lester. Maybe you'd say that's a surprise, but he was hurt a little bit in the preseason. Undrafted free agent, you know. Yeah, I wasn't really expected to make the team anyway, but it's whatever. Other than that, no really big surprises, which, excuse me. But, like I said, no, other than that, there's not really any other surprises. I mean, but the surprises that were there, they were pretty huge, like David Geddes and Drayton. It's hard to see other players making it over them. Also, I want to talk about Fua a little bit. I felt like Fua spent a lot of time last year, like studying and getting stronger and pushing better. Because this preseason, his stats don't show it, and he hasn't made any big plays to show it. But every snap, he was getting off to a great jump, and he would grab the guy and push him backwards. But he couldn't get off the block. That guy would grab him, and he didn't know how to get away from him. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, Fua's never done anything, but, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say that he's a terrible player like NFL Panthers 07 does. I know he doesn't like him at all. I mean, I don't like him at all, but, you know, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I think he's a terrible player because I don't, but maybe he'll make it on somewhere else. Doubt it. Let's see, anything else to talk about? Not really, so, but I guess our starting defense is going to be Godfrey, Nakamura. Oh, and that reminds me, DJ Campbell, a safety. That's kind of a surprise that he was caught. I mean, he's pretty good. But, so he won't be there. So, but we got Nakamura, who's really improved from what I've seen in preseason and training camp this year. He's doing a lot better at tackling and maybe judging the ball a little better. But I got Nakamura, Charles Godfrey, and then at linebackers, you know, we got Luke, John, and Thomas. And then on the line, you're gonna have Greg Hardy, Starr, DeJuan, and Charles Johnson. You know, every once in a while, Short will get in there. Frank Alexander, I'm sure you'll see a lot of him. Might even see some of Mario Addison. I mean, he's looked really impressive. You know, just a little bit I've seen of him. Even last year when he got to play a little bit and step in, he looked really good. But that's then at corner we got Josh Norman on one side and Captain Munnerlyn, DJ Moore. I mean, those are our starting defense right there. Then you got on offense, you know, of course, Cam. I don't know, hopefully Mike Tolbert won't start on PUP. But hopefully you'll have Mike Tolbert week 1 and Cam and D'Angelo Williams. Then at line, you got Jordan Groves, Gary Williams, Ron Kalil. I don't remember if Bale is a guard or a tackle. But you got Ron Bell over there, and I can't remember the other guy's name. I forget. I don't know why it's not coming to me. I'm sure I will. I'll probably feel like an idiot later once I think of it. But And then you got wide receiver. You're probably gonna have number 1 C Smith, 2 LaFell, and 3 Ted Ginn, more than likely. It just sucks so hard that David Geddes has gone out of that race because he had the potential of being the number 2 receiver in there, not just only the number 3, the number 2, because he was better than Brandon LaFell the one year they all played together. And he had Jimmy Clausen throwing to him. So, I mean, I don't know. Hopefully, I don't know. I want to see David Geddes do good with somebody. Hopefully, we pick him back up. Maybe, hopefully, it's us. But, other than that, there's not really anything else to talk about. I just want to get on here and talk about the cuts, my thoughts on them. And hopefully we'll be ready to play Seattle. It's a really important game. Going over my time limit here. I don't know how long YouTube's time limit is, but just gonna get this out there. We gotta be prepared to play Seattle. Gotta come wanting to win worse than they do, and hopefully we do. And if we can do that, I think we'll win no problem. My dad's a very pessimistic person, and he's actually predicting the Panthers to win like 40-10. So I don't know if he's excited for it, which he's coached football all of his life. I'm starting to get into coaching. My 5 and 6 year olds that I help coach or I had a game today. But I don't know. Just hopefully they can win. If they don't, it's going to probably be a long season. But there's a lot of young talent there. If they just come together to play, they should win. But also, a big shout out to NFL Panthers 07. Thank you so much. And sorry, it's just not coming to me at the end of this video. Thank you so much for that shout out. Like I told you didn't have to do that. It wasn't really necessary to me. I just felt like, if I'm gonna get on here and make videos, people will find me themselves. But you really helped. I got 16, probably like 20 subscribers in one day. Like when you shouted me out, it was shocking. Like I was like, whoa, I didn't know that was possible. But thanks, man. I really appreciate that. It was really good of you. I don't know. Maybe we'll talk later. Do something else in the season. But other than that, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one, guys. Keep pounding.